Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Jason, and this is Mike Drop Sports. We're breaking down that Steelers-Ravens game from yesterday. After I got to rewatch it a little bit, see a little bit more of the intricate things that you're looking for when you're watching the tape again, looking at that offensive line play, looking at that defensive front, watching the secondary, seeing, different things that they're doing. And I want to just start with the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. They did get a big win yesterday, 17-10 at Acrisure Stadium to take the division lead, but it doesn't feel like a team that is in command of this division, even though they are holding both tiebreakers, one with Baltimore, one with the Cleveland Browns. But it still feels like a team that has still a lot of holes. And it should make you feel good, actually, as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, to know that your team sits atop the AFC North, holds all the tiebreakers right now, and hasn't played even remotely close their best game of football. Hasn't even put together 3 quarters strung together of good football. They've only had little spurts, little bursts of good football, and the bad far outweighs the good. And here they sit, 3-2, guys. That is an amazing stat, actually. You have players like Gunnar Olszewski that are, basically right now the fourth wideout on the team who fumbles, and he's touched the ball 4 times this year. I want to start there before I go anywhere else. Gunnar Olszewski has touched the ball 4 times this season. 2 of them being fumbles. One of them being a toe tap on a kickoff that he could have let go out of bounds, which was a total bonehead play, and the Steelers could have had excellent field position. Instead, he thought, what? I don't even know what he was thinking. That's how dumb it was for a professional to even make such a stupid move. So, yes, and I don't even know what the other one was, but 4 touches, and 2 of those he's fumbled. Gunnar has to be gone. You have to get rid of him. And I know right now your back's against the wall in the wide receiver room, but Deontay Johnson should be coming healthy and coming back for the Los Angeles Rams game as the Steelers travel out west. And I think that's going to be big for Kenny Pickett. But I think you got Denzel Mims for a reason, because I think Gunnar's about to be gone. Calvin Austin yesterday got in the concussion protocol for a bit, did return to the football game. However, Mike Tomlin didn't feel comfortable enough to allow him to be back there taking the potential for monster hits whenever you're returning punts and kickoffs and things of that nature. So he put Gunnar back there again, gave him another chance, and he proved why the Steelers shouldn't have him back there doing anything and shouldn't even have him on this football team. He's failed absolutely miserably. And it's just becoming to the point we as common fans know this dude's bad. He sucks. You shouldn't even have him there. I don't even know how he made the team, to be honest with you. Let's bring Denzel Mims. We just got him. He's on the practice squad. Get him up to speed here in the next 2 weeks, and allow him to come in and play that 4th wide receiver role. You are going to get back Deontay Johnson. You are going to get him back. You are going to be getting back Pat Freiermuth, hopefully after the bye week when we travel to Los Angeles. Cameron Hayward is not far. So these injuries on this football team are starting to heal up a little bit. The bye couldn't have come at a better time. They managed to squeak through that first 5 weeks with a 3-2 record. And it reminds me a lot of last season, where the Steelers progressively got better throughout the year. And by the end of the year, they were putting some good football games together and getting some wins and really starting to show some signs of promise. And I think after watching yesterday's game, toward the end, you started to see that a little bit. You started to see that excitement come back. You started seeing that team unity and the way they played and really forced the issue with the Baltimore Ravens and really took control of that football game late. And you need that from all 3 phases of the game. And the Steelers did that, and it's starting to remind me, like I said, of last season. But the only difference is between last season and this is that the Steelers are managing to get out of that first 5 weeks with a positive record and not sitting with 1 or 2 wins and 6 losses. They're not in that boat right now. And they've already got 3 wins. And that just tells me that maybe there is some promise down the road. And I'm going to go with that. I think there is. And I think the team will start to gel. I thought the offensive line play was better yesterday. Was it good or good enough yet? Absolutely not. But I think it was better. I think they started to progress a little bit. Did I think Kenny was good? Absolutely not. But I felt that progression, that those little baby steps. I felt it. We thought we saw a little bit of it in Las Vegas. However, those were just some big splash plays, and the rest of the time he looked shitty. So yesterday he kind of did the same thing, but you could tell just a little bit more in the detail of the game and the way they started to move the football. Yes, drives failed, but they were able to more consistently toward the end of that football game drive down the field and at least get above or get across half the midfield line and get into possible field goal range. Yeah, they got knocked out sometimes, but they were able to capitalize at times. So you could see that progression. So you slowly are seeing what the Steelers can do. And like I said, I wanted to start with the defense first before I got on the gunner bullshit. However, let's start there with the defense. Joey Porter Jr. proved yesterday that he needs to be the starter. Is he going to be? Probably not, but I think he's going to at least see 60-70% of the snaps, actually. I think he's going to come off the bench. I think Patrick Peterson will still be in the game, but I think he's going to get slid over a little bit and start to allow Patrick Peterson to do the things that the Steelers wanted him there for originally, and that wasn't to be the number one cornerback. Joey Porter Jr., I think, is going to slide into that role and start to really, really play there. And his stats are amazing right now. The QBR against him is insanely low, and that is an excellent thing. He's locked down Devontae Adams when it mattered. He's locked down, what's his name, from the Cleveland Browns. He's locked down, yesterday, Odell, and got that big interception in the end zone, which totally changed the game because the Steelers were about to lose that football game if it wasn't for Joey Porter Jr. and Miles Killebrew with the special teams punt block. Yes, Joey Porter Jr. has to play, and he has to play way more than he's playing now. And I know that the Steelers wanted to ease him into it, and they've done an excellent job easing him into it. But the kid has proved that he belongs on this football team and that he belongs in that starting group, and he belongs to get the lion's share of the snaps. And if the Steelers and Mike Tomlin don't quickly act on that, they could get some more of these blowout losses at times because the Steelers do struggle right now on offense. Hopefully that does. We talked about that progression. Hopefully that gets better. But as of right now, as it sits, you can't afford to get down 15, 16 points. You can't afford it. You can't afford to battle back down a couple touchdowns in a 2-point conversion or a couple touchdowns in a field goal. You can't afford to be that far down. You cannot come from behind. Your offense does not have the scoring power right now to be able to do those things. So you have to have a corner like Joey Porter Jr. that's able to lock down a guy, a team's number one, or just take away that guy that's starting to really heat up and get those big plays and lock them down. And that will take a little bit of pressure off of guys like Levi Wallace and Patrick Peterson and allow them to be able to play a little bit more free and help this Steelers defense in a big, big way. And it'll also trickle down to help them inside linebackers and pass coverage whenever you're able to drop down Patrick Peterson and have 3 good corners on the field at one time. You just got an aging guy right now that's not his role. Number one corner isn't his role, and it shouldn't be his role. It should be just being exotic, doing different things, letting him read the quarterback, allowing him to go after the football, not putting him in a position to where he has to lock down a team's number one. That's not what he's built for right now, guys. So the defense, I saw a lot of promise yesterday. I saw them get a lot better. The pressure from TJ Watt, the pressure from Alex Highsmith, causing strips of Lamar Jackson, forcing him out of the pocket, causing him to be uncomfortable. Yes, Lamar Jackson's receiving core dropped 8 passes yesterday, 3 of which were touchdown passes easily. But who cares? It's football. People drop passes. The Steelers have dropped passes before also. So you really can't go back on that and say that. That's chapping my ass when I keep hearing people, oh, the Baltimore Ravens should have won. But they didn't. They didn't win. So quit saying the shit. They didn't win. Oh, they should have won. They had 3 drop touchdown passes. Okay, I guess you didn't capitalize. You lost, bro. You should have made those catches, I guess. And It's just such an annoying thing when you hear people always talk about the what ifs. The what ifs. What if? What if what? Dude, shut up. It's ridiculous. Just let it go. Enjoy the W. Enjoy the victory. And let's talk about the things that the Pittsburgh Steelers need to do and correct in order to become a good football team. So again, the defense, I thought it played excellent at times. I think they did give up a couple runs that they probably should clean up some. The couple of the pass plays where they're playing in that soft zone, getting thrown in front of. Those types of things, those things that we see over and over again. Patrick Peterson, not great. Levi Wallace, not great. Yes, they were torched and there were some drop passes. So yeah, they need to clean that stuff up. They got lucky a lot of the times yesterday, but they made it through and they won the ball game. And that's just what happens. There's going to be luck on your side sometimes. There's going to be luck against you sometimes. For the other team, good luck. But hey, you battle through and you become battle tested, and sometimes you're able to overcome things that you normally wouldn't have because you're battle tested now. You've been in these games that are tight. You got to make plays when it matters, and the Steelers are starting to be able to get that and do that, and they prove that against I think a very good opponent in Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. I thought Lamar Jackson played an okay game. Was it great? No, because they would have won if Lamar Jackson played a great game. But his game, it was okay. He did miss throws. He did make bad decisions, especially on that one play. Him and Harbaugh both, they looked ridiculous. But they made the mistakes, and that's what it takes to win football games in the National Football League. You have to capitalize off the other team's misfortunes and their mistakes. And that's what you have to do. And if you don't do that, you're not going to win ball games. So, the defense, I think we're sitting okay. Let's hope for the return of Cam Hayward sooner rather than later. I think that'll be good. Let's hope Larry O. I think he had a shoulder. I'm not sure yet. We'll hear more about that tomorrow. Let's hope that he's okay and can continue on. Keanu Benton playing like a beast. I think Keanu Neal came off, but he did return. So let's hope there's nothing lingering with him. Also, we need to see more Joey Porter Jr., and I think it got to come now, and I think it got to come in Los Angeles when the Steelers travel out there after their bye week. Let's move on to that Steelers offense, and the things that I thought they were doing poorly again was Kenny consistently just rolling to his left. I know that's where he's most comfortable, but it's so predictable, and he was being very inaccurate at times, and I just feel like this offense needs to be more of Kenny's offense. He needs to have more control of it, and you can tell that it's not, and they may say that he's able to call audibles and do this, and that's just shit they're saying to the media, but you can see out on the football field, he is not in control of this offense. It is controlled by Matt Canada in the booth, and you've seen it yesterday when Kenny made that great throw for a 41-yard touchdown pass to George Pickens at the end of the game to put the Steelers ahead. You saw the look on Matt Canada's face. I don't care. I don't think he was trying to be a hard ass and just act like, oh, no big deal. I think he was actually pretty pissed off that he was ignored and that his play wasn't run and that Kenny called that. He seen that zero coverage, and him and George decided they were attacking it. And I don't know. I think Matt Canada had something else dialed up. But I think Kenny took control of that situation. And right now, that's the only time Kenny Pickett is good. And that is in the end of the ball game when you got to win it and it's a close game. That's the only time that he shows promise. Any other time, he's been looking kind of bad. In the fourth quarter, though, I thought that he did come about with some big throws, getting a big 3rd and 9, completing a pass to George Pickens, then throwing a pass to the sideline to George Pickens for what I believe was a first down. He did deliver on a few of those throws, finding Connor Hayward at times to be a safety valve. But you guys got to realize, too, he's missing Deontay Johnson, Pat Freiermuth. He's got players like Gunnar Olszewski out there running routes. There has to be a little bit of a give there, too, because he doesn't have his full complement. The offensive line at times has sucked, but I did think they played better. Was it good enough? No, but it was better. And I think they're going to start gelling with the insertion of Broderick Jones, allowing Darnell Washington to be in there. Jaylen Warren, what a ball game. running tough in that fourth quarter, and I feel like that really provided the spark for the Pittsburgh Steelers to be able to start taking over that football game. After the block punt from Miles Killebrew, which was an exceptional play, I thought Jalen Warren really played tough. I thought that he really came about and played well, and he needs to see more snaps also. But you did see some growth from Kenny Pickett yesterday. When he took control of that play and tossed that touchdown to George Pickens, that was something I screamed out soon as it happened. Way to go. That's what you needed to do. Way to take control, Kenny. That is, I wrote it in my notes. Way to take control, Kenny. Way to recognize the coverage. Way to identify what you had on the outside and who you have out there in George Pickens. And they got it done, and it was at the time they absolutely had to have it. Field goal wasn't going to work. Field goal would only put you up 11-10, and I felt like that would have been a problem. So the Steelers, they came out 14-10 after that, and then the rest is history, guys. The Steelers did come out with a W. They did get another field goal at the end of the game. I thought they managed the end of the game well. The defense managed it well. And all in all, just a solid effort in the fourth quarter. I felt the fourth quarter, from about the 8-minute mark, 8.5, 9-minute mark, I felt like the Pittsburgh Steelers looked like a solid football team. And that's what they need to continue to do and continue to build on. They need to watch the last quarter of that football game and look at it and say, this is who we are. That's what we have to do. And they have to just follow that model of what they did there. And I think that they'll be okay, and I think they'll grow. And I think things will get a lot better. But who would have ever thought that your Pittsburgh Steelers, after the way they got blown out by the San Francisco 49ers in the home opener, the way they got blown out by the Houston Texans last week, how bad the offense looked against the Cleveland Browns and the Las Vegas Raiders, in my opinion, who would have thought that they would be 3-2 and be in control of the AFC North, holding both tiebreakers? And it's looking like last season, but the only difference is they have some wins under their belt, and they're not burying themselves to where they have to catch up. And maybe now the Pittsburgh Steelers will be able to hit their stride and continue to grow like they did last season. And come playoff time, they may just be one of the NFL's best and most complete teams. And I can see it kind of happening. So if you're a Steeler fan, you have something to be happy about, and you need to just be patient and allow this thing to grow, because I think there's going to be some more bumps in the road, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to overcome it in the long run, and I think they're going to be just fine. Are they going to go far in the playoffs? I don't know, but I do think that they will make the playoffs, and I do think that they are going to manage to squeak this AFC North Division title out. And it may not be pretty at times, but it'll get the job done. So, I want to wrap this up. Until next time, guys, like the videos, subscribe to the channel, please, and keep helping us grow. You guys have been awesome. I'm very humbled by the support so far. We're cruising to 600 subscribers. I never thought I would get that far, but growing every day, and I appreciate it. So, until next time, peace.